she's killed. You don't wait till she's killed. You don't wait for it to stop. We don't have much time, running out of time.
Your life. 1 minute past 7 Central European time. Yes, I was 1 minute late due to the fact that I had a special guest today, and I just wanted to show him. Well, he's not called Petra Verbruggen. No. He's called Scooter, and Scooter's in the studio, and also my other cat Kermit has just joined me. So it's going to be a zoo taekwondo or Zukondo or whatever you want to call it today. Welcome indeed to everybody. We are going to do something really cool today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my ideas with regard to my audio rack, which I do not have yet. And I want you to walk you through my ideas that I have, which components that I'm considering or have already bought. As you might know, during COVID, it takes longer to get stuff. I have been waiting for example, 9 months to get the, and I hope that I'm doing it correctly now, the HDMX, no, the MXHD, no, MDHX, that's it. So that takes quite some time, and that's all over the place. It just takes a little bit some time. But before we start, like I do always, let's talk about who is here live and direct at the moment. Of course, MT was already here in the waiting for the video to start. Even I did see him pop up about 30 minutes ago already. Wow. Also, my dad is in the house. He says Grüße or greetings to MT. Of course, also greetings to my dad for being here. Everybody's doing fine, and indeed we just saw Scooter, which is always really cool that he is here to again, here he is right there. Oh, let me remove this. There he is right there. But there's more. MT says it looks like Scooter was really enjoying the production time, and that is definitely the case. He is definitely doing that. My dad says, I like to see how my friend Scooter, I took care of the cats this week. Now Petra is keeping distance from me for some days as she went to a concert with allergens audience with a 1.12 COVID. So indeed this I went to Scotland to see a concert. I will show you some pictures that I took right there in just a minute. And indeed, I'm taking some precautions so that, well, I feel quite nice. Do have a little bit of a stick neck due to the fact that I've been carrying quite a heavy rucksack for 2 days. I walked 35 kilometers in 2 days, so it's quite a lot of quite. I saw a lot, so to speak, but I can feel it. Let me just say it that way. I see also DJ Wares in the house. Welcome. Really appreciate you for being here and taking the time. Gerhard is also in the house. Greetings from Stuttgart. Welcome. And Raoul says good morning or afternoon and or night. So yes, it's 7 p.m. Central European time here, and I know, Raoul, that for you it's probably on top of my head 1 p.m. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if I'm correct or not. Also, John is in the house. He says, good evening, Petra. Welcome. I've been in the UK this last week, so in Scotland, which was really cool. And Marjolein is also now house. Happy Saturday, she says. Usual suspect. Yes, we need song lists. Okay, well, we will definitely do that. Let me see. And I also see Stuart Video also in the house. Hey, Petra, he says, really appreciate you for being here, Stuart. Ben Tech Lab from Vancouver, Canada. I love Vancouver. I've been there. Excellent city. Really a cool city. I did have a lot of rain, but I think that it's quite normal there. But it was really cool. Nevertheless, I saw a lot of cool stuff. Cool location. John says, looks like the Blackmagic Design are about to launch new ATEMs. Many dealers here in the UK are currently offering extreme ISOs with 45% discount. Yeah, that's what I saw here in the Netherlands as well. And I was exactly thinking the same thing like you just said. I think it's coming, and I'm really looking forward to it, because that also means that maybe, just maybe, my ATEM dream is coming, which is basically the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, but then in a 19-inch rack mountable unit and with SDI channels. 4 is enough for me, then I'm really happy, but 8 is even better. So I don't care if it's 4 or 8, but if it has, okay, let's start that thing again. If Blackmagic Design delivers let's call it the television studio, which is based on the same brain as my ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, so that means with super source support, with the possibility of internal ISO recording, it doesn't have to be internal, but via USB, then I'm already hooked. It doesn't have to have the streaming option, because I can definitely use the web presenter for that, but I'm hooked if that is there. So let's hope and pray that maybe someday I can get that ATEM Mini. Connie says, welcome from Aachen. That is really close for where I live. I live in Limburg, which is the province that is close to Aachen. That's cool. Let me see. Sharif is in the house. Welcome from Oman. Cool. It's 12 p.m. Central Time. Okay, gotcha, Raoul. Sorry for that. And indeed, greetings to London, as MT says. Really, yeah, indeed. And the billing sheriff is also in the house. So now I think we can start. If he's here, we can definitely start. Okay, so what we're going to do today is that I'm going to show you a little bit about last week, which is not related to video. I'll promise you that it's not going to take longer than 2 minutes. But I went to Glasgow in Scotland, to see my favorite band of all time, and those are the Simple Minds. They have been around for 45 years, believe it or not. I've been a fan of that band since I was 17 years old, and I was just really wanted to go to their, let's say, their ground where they started, and I'm so lucky that I have been in the possibility to see that. So I can actually show you some pictures that I've created. Let me go to the first one, and here you go. These are just a few a few pictures that I took. This is Jim Kerr, the singer of the band. He has been there for a long time. Fantastic voice, I love it. These are two singers, I would state. Though the right hand side is Sarah Brown. She is the singer of the band for a long time, at least since the last 3 albums. And the woman on the left, I forgot her name, but she plays keyboard and she actually can also sing quite good. This is Gordon. He plays guitar. Jim again. Jim, Gordon, and Sarah standing almost in front of me, which was really cool. That is I forget her name, but again, really cool that she brought that keyboard with her. Jim, Cerise, say, a drummer that is unbelievably great, and of course Jim Kerr again. Well, as you can see, and Charlie Burchill. Not to forget Charlie Burchill. Charlie Burchill is literally a fantastic guitar player. So that happened in Glasgow this week. First time in Glasgow ever for me. Was really appreciating it. I loved the people. I loved how everybody was there. And another thing that happened was that I finally got to unveil my new car. It's a huge car. No, it's not a huge car. It's actually this one right here. It's a electric Fiat 500, an electric Fiat 500, and it's built from the ground up. this is the red model, which is the color red, but it's also product red, the charity thing, which was really cool that they had it. So that's a bit of a thing. Now, you can imagine that this car has a bit of an issue, is that it's not really big, but typically I can also rent quite easily a bigger car for just those 10 to 12 gigs that I have throughout the year, which where I need to bring everything with me. I have more than those gigs, but the big setups where we need the rack mounts, we need a bigger car, obviously. So that's about 12, and I think that in total maybe 24 a year. That would be the standard, or 30 even. All right. So we're all up to speed. Let me see if there are some comments until now. Hey, I have an issue. Let me fix that. I don't have that. I don't have that issue. I already have it again. Let me think. Okay, so reverting back to my dream machine when it comes to the ATEM, indeed SDI for me too. Yeah, less converters, which will be great. Freddy is in the house from Venezuela. Welcome, really cool to see you. Appreciate it. Siran is also in the house. He says 4K television studio ISO. Yeah, might be also a great one. I do want to have something that is less than 2,000 euros, if possible. That would be a bit on the high side of things. On TV, channel says, we have filmed the Simple Minds concerts twice. Once in Gibraltar and last time in the Starlet in Marbella. Ooh. Interesting. I want to know more now. Of course, you can share it. I understand that, but I would want to know more about how that works. What comes? What do you need to film them? Let me see it that way. So it's more about the information. MT says, indeed, a new ATEM Extreme would be great. An 8 SDI or 8 HDMI separate XLR audio in and out, and of course a 4.6 SDI aux separate program. Yeah, so for me, I would already be very happy with 4 SDI inputs and 4 HDMI inputs. That would be great for me already for what I do. However, I will be as glad if it would be 7 plus 1, right? So 7 SDI and 1 HDMI would also be great, but we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. The NAB is coming this month, I believe, 2-3 weeks from now. So yeah, probably we will know more very shortly. Robert says, Simple Minds are great. Played them tons while a FM disc jockey in Southern California. Cool. Absolutely fantastic. The building sheriff says, seen Simple Minds many times. I'm jealous. Oh, I love them so much. I've seen them quite some time already. And Sure says, congratulations with the car. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Digital Creation 2012 says, new Blackmagic stuff announced soon. I feel it in my water. Yeah, me too. I totally agree with that statement. Whew, a lot of things going on there. All right, let's talk about my rack. So I did already show you my rack on the picture that I sent out with this invite. This is the rack that I have at the moment. This used to be my video rack, so that's also the reason why it states producer rack on the top and camera 1, camera 2, and camera 3 at the bottom. Obviously, these are not related to cameras anymore. However, I thought, why I already have this 6U rack lying around. Why shouldn't I just start to build this one up? And if I need more space, I can always go to either 2x4 or 1x8. I can do whatever I please with that. But for now, I think that as a starting point, I would love to build this one up. And as you can see on the bottom, I already have entered the X32 rack, which is my rack of choice if it comes to the mixing as a mixer for my audio. Now, as a former radio person, which I have been doing a lot of radio productions and also band productions in the past. So I do already own a QU16 by Allen and Heath. However, the QU16 is actually built into my studio at the moment, and I'm not going to grab it every time. And that is more aimed towards my LiveView products at the moment. He's not. He's sitting. That's good. Anyway, so I'm not going to use that for that purpose, but I do use that X32 rack in my 19-inch rack, so that I can use that for bringing in a few things. So this particular unit allows me to bring in, as it is right there, 16 inputs. 16 inputs on the device itself, and it can be extended to 32, hence the name X32. And those 16 inputs, that can be a multitude of things. It can be laptops to bring in, for example, guests via Teams or via Skype. It can be to bring in other devices, like, for example, maybe a singer-songwriter, or maybe also some microphones. That's where the other part comes into play, is that at the moment, I do not have those microphones. I only have and you see that on the left hand side above the X32, you see that I have this component that is right there, and that component is the PCM300, which I already have here as well. Or is it the PCM300? Yes, the PSM300, which is this one right here. And this one is actually for in-ear monitors. I did show it to you 2 weeks ago. And I want to build that into my audio rack, because I think it's really cool if it's possible for a presenter to hear what you want him to hear. That can be either the program or maybe also your own voice, to give him some ideas on where he is for example, for tracking time. I mean, hey, you have 5 minutes, or you have 1 minute, wrap up, something like that. That is the reason why I really want to have the possibility to have an in-ear for that person, and that is already there. I do already own those two components right there. However, what I do not own are microphones. So those microphones will have to be added. But before I do that, I want to really touch upon the components that I already have, and I will walk you through those components, and after that I will take a short break to answer any questions, okay? So the first thing is that I already showed you the X32, and that is this product right here. And this product right here is a rack mount, and you can do everything on that rack mount. As you can see, it has a lot of information on the little screen. You can perform equalizer, gates, all kinds of dynamics, inputs and outputs. You can do all kinds of routings, which is really important, especially if you would like to, for example, have somebody listen to somebody else, but not to him or herself. Or alternatively, you want them to only listen to what the presenter says, but you don't want them to listen to, for example, background music. That should all be possible, and this is where this 19-inch rack-mountable mixer comes into play very nicely. Again, 16 inputs on the back, but it also contains, so these are the 16 inputs that you have right here, right there. So 1 to 16, but it also has a plethora of 8 outputs, where the last 2 are actually the outputs that can go to the monitors. But those 6 outputs can actually be used for the in-ears, so that a presenter can only hear what they need to hear. But also, I can also state that I only want, for example, audio out 5 and 6 to be used for the live streaming event. So that is also a possibility that we have on that product. Really powerful, a lot of functionality for a, I would say, cheaper price than the QU16, at least when I bought it. I did, however, very, very quickly see that even though it is programmable via your iPad or your iPhone, that the iPad and iPhone is not for me. I want to have faders that I can actually touch. As a matter of fact, if you look on my studio setup right here, I'm actually using a fader right here. So if I do this, you cannot hear me. You see? Just make me go lower and higher. And that is, for me, something that I really, really like. So I want to have that functionality. In order to have that functionality, I wanted to have, for example, this product right here, which is the X Touch. It has 8, is it 8? Yeah, 8 faders that you can use. That those are programmable. They're also motorized. So depending on which bank you are on, you can actually see what's going on. You have a nice output here, so to see how much noise is coming into place, so that you're not clipping, so there's no exaggerated sound. And there's a lot of things that you can do right here. However, you cannot see it on this picture, but I do have a special template that is specifically to the X32 that lies on top of it, which makes it a very nice product. And it's literally only connected via a, let me see, yeah, via one cable, or actually, yeah, 2 cables, a power cord and in Ethernet. That's all. So that is the way that it's connected to the X32, which means that I can actually have the X32 all the way on the other side of the room, maybe even on stage, but I can have everything at the video desk, which is really important, and you will see more about that very, very soon. So those two I already own. So the Behringer X32 and the X Touch. That combination is golden in my opinion. And then the last, before I go into some questions, is that I also promised you to talk very briefly about the in-ear monitor, and that is this one right here. That's the P3 TRA, which, to be honest, I really love that name. Just let it sink in, let it sink in for a bit what it states there and what my name is. So Petra. So yeah, indeed, the P3 TRA or Petra, and it has the receiver right here. Sorry, the transmitter right here, and a receiver is this one right here. And this is metallic. So this is a metallic product, so it's very, very sturdy, and it is really, really professional. So I really, really like it. All right, so these are the components that I already have. So I know that these are going to be in there, but I'm not there yet. I still want to have the possibility to bring in a microphone. So I want to have 2 of those, and we're going to talk about those 2 very soon. But let me go into the questions before I do that. But before I do, I also want to say hi to Jason. Welcome, Jason. Appreciate you for being there. Empty says, great car, by the way. Yep, my dad did a great job. It's really him thinking about what is the best car. So it was for me quite easy to say, okay, yep, you're right, let's get this one, which was really cool. Question, Sinas, welcome. Is it possible to send 25 frames per second PNG files generated on the fly by computer to ATEM's media player? The answer to that question is no. That is not possible. Unfortunately, it does not allow for a loop on PNG loop. Most of the ATEMs do not have a media pool. apart from having separate pictures. Now, if you are a bit, let's say, geeky, you can have a very short animation by just having, I think you have like 15 or 16 positions on the ATEM software. And then you can just go let it go via every picture very quickly. However, it's not going to be a perfect situation anyway, but it is possible. But PNGs are not. They use a different sequence. I forget what the name is at the moment, but definitely not PNG. But then you need to purchase the bigger ATEM switchers. All data minis do not have it, so you need to go to the production systems for that. Don't buy them at the moment because of what we have been discussing earlier on today, is that we are expecting new products to arrive very, very shortly, and it would be a bit of a shame if you are purchasing something that has already been around for 5 years, if something is great on the horizon. So don't buy at the moment. Do not buy. Let me say, if I empty, I didn't see that, but you can set PNG files by the Adobe Pro Photoshop directly to the ATEM media pool. You can also import stills in the media pool. That is correct, from the same storage and network, but you do need to, at least via micro, shoot every PNG separately to make an animation. I believe you wanted to have it as an animation, so that's the reason why I said it that way. Maybe I misread it. Sharif says, any equalizer or reverb used in your new setup? No, at the moment, not. Not in this. Oh, you mean in the rack mountable? It is already in the in the audio file, in the audio rack. There will be, of course, the mixer, which will have all of the components available to you. Let me see what he's gonna do. Always fun, right? No, so no. Yeah, TGA files. That's it. That's the one that I meant. You're a bit quieter now. Now it's better. It was because I was playing with the volume control, and that was the reason. So I didn't put it back. On TV channel says, we have the Behringer XR16 and the X-Touch with touch faders. Brilliant. Yes, that's also a very good setup. Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely a fantastic setup. Sina says, as Photoshop plugins can do this, I plan to write a software that can generate animated lower thirds and send them over network directly to the ATEM's media player. I hope that I can update the MP1 flawless. Shinan, that will work. However, be aware that you do need to create a macro that fires up every picture separately. So you want to load all of them in all of the banks that you have available to you. I believe it's on top of my head about 16 or 20. So you can have 20 frames for a full animation, and then that is roughly what you can do. And more than that, you don't have. So that unfortunately, that is if you want to do it that way. What you can also do, and that's the way that I would do it, I would add a laptop with, for example, ProPresenter or vMix or OBS, and use that to play out that's a lower third, because that would make it way easier for you to perform it. That would be my suggestion to you, at least. Does the X-Touch cooperate with DaVinci Resolve? Yes, it does. It does. Yes, you can. So, okay. He's back. Yes, it can. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be a perfect situation for you. However, for let's say just modifying the channel heights, the volumes, it'll work. Definitely, I've seen that. DJ Ware says it was sure nice. It sure was made for you. Yeah, I agree. Nice. Brad says, maybe I missed it, but does your rig support Dante? Hello from Canada. Unfortunately, it does not yet, at least. I have to admit that I need to verify that if the Behringer one supports Dante as an external add-on, because you can have add-ons on it. I believe I can. So there is an expansion slot, but I do not know what the possibilities are on the extension slot. I need to figure that out. It might be that you can have Dante on it. I'm just checking if I can find it, but let me see. So yeah, I'm checking it out like here, so to see if I can find it, but I unfortunately cannot really quickly see it, so I'll have to check it. But there is an extension slot right here, right there, so you are able to utilize that. Now we have a possibility of a cat fight in just a minute. All right. So yeah, maybe, but at the moment it's not foreseen that I will have a Dante support, even though it is great. I do know that it's great. On TV says it will work on Resolve, but you need an app called Central Control. Yes, correct. That is correct. It doesn't support lower thirds, but you can play them at Hypertech, Ultra Studio. Yep, that is correct. And again, you can play with the possibility of the macros as well a little bit. It's not going to be perfect, but at least you don't have to have a separate system for that. Another question from Freddy. What do you use to pop up the chat on the screen? Have you any video about it? Good question, Freddy. I am actually using vMix for this. I am not using the ATEM for my Taekwondo production. Like I said last week, but I will tell you very quickly. This is a one-person band, so I want to have everything as close as possible at my fingertips. And even though Taekwondo is very important to me, if it crashes for one reason or another, I can just stop and restart it and go back live. And even though it's a bit of an awkward thing for you guys, I'm sure that you guys will accept it and it's okay. If you would be a paying customer, that would be a totally different ballgame for me. Where if it's a paying customer, I do want to have a hardware-based solution, and that's where the ATEM comes into play for me. So that's one thing. A second thing is, and I also said that last week, but just for the sake of it, now it's fully ATEM, but this computer right here in front of me will be decommissioned at the end of this year. And once that is done, I will be having a hybrid solution where I will be using the ATEM Mini Extreme together with a vMix output. So a combination of the two, and not solely audio based anymore. Reasoning behind that is that, well, preach what you tell what you preach, do what you do as you say, not that you do. Well, do as you say. So that's the reason why I want to do it. I want to show it exactly how it is, and how I want to use it also for all my on location setups. So it is it is literally using vMix Chat, which is a fantastic setup. I can actually show it to you very quickly. This is what I'm looking at right here. Boom. So this is you right here. And actually, well, the only thing that I'm doing, Freddy, is that I click on your name. I say send it to output, and boom, there you are. So that's how easy it is for me to do that. There you go. DJ White says, I'm using Apogee Digital Quartet is getting on its age now, but still works very well for me. There you go. And Sina says X32 supports Dante. Yeah, but does the rack do that also? Be careful, because there are like 5 different X32s out there. Yep, I think that there's a card to add there. Oh, there you go. Boom. MT just showed it to me. So let me get that very quickly. And let me go there. See if that is supported. Does it? Yeah. Yeah, so indeed, I can create a Dante version of it. So that is possible. It does, yeah. Yep, that is possible. Maybe I will do that in the future, but not anytime soon. Because I actually have a different way of putting it into the production. Come to think of it, I do have an audio to SDI interface, so I can actually put so the camera goes into an SDI box, and then the same SDI box 2 XLR cables come into play. So the output of the mixer comes in there, and then from there on it becomes one SDI cable to the mixer, which makes it really handy to do that. And even though Dante is of course digital and really great, I already have that product, so it doesn't make sense to me to do it the other way around at the moment, at least. Let me see. Okay. Any other questions before I continue my discussion? MT, I'm sure that a cut to situation in your studio. Yeah, I'm sure as well. MJ says I'm using the XR18. It's perfect for streaming. There you go, bam. Yeah, the XR Behringers are really cool. Both the 18 and the 16. Again, I happen to be a bit of an audio person myself, so I tend to go a little bit extra in that area. So that's the reason why I'm going that route. But also with the idea of having all of the functionality that I need at my fingertips, and that is for me very important. So yeah. Hey Freddy, anytime, no worries. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your question. On TV channel says one quick question, Petra. I put up the 2 URLs to the Simple Minds gigs we covered for you, but maybe your URLs are blocked from the chat. Our URLs that might be. I think that MT only can do that because he is a moderator. So you need to be a moderator to do that, unfortunately. But John, maybe we can have like a short internal discussion to check it out. That would be great. Anyway, let's move on because we have some other things to talk about. So my in-ear monitors are by Shure, and that's also the reason why I want to have the wireless the wireless monitors also by Shure. However, and to be honest, Sennheiser is also really good. So if you're looking for wireless microphones that are great, then there are 2 brands in my opinion that are really good. That's Sennheiser, really good, and Shure, also really good. And I typically won't go to the Shure route of things because I like their processing. I like how flat they are. That's what I think is very important to me because I want to be in charge of what it sounds like, and that's where they shine. So yeah, that's my reasoning. But both of them are great. But looking at Shure, it's a bit of a problem because they have a plethora of different wireless systems. Obviously, if you go with the Accent digital version, you can imagine that's the state of the art, the creme de la creme, perfect product, but also let's say perfectly priced, right? No way in hell that I'm going to do that. So no. The same thing goes for the ULXD. Is also way too expensive for me. I do stream for organizations. However, I try to make it budget friendly. So that means that I also, the products that I'm buying are always with the idea that I need to have, it doesn't, I do want to keep the costs as low as possible so that I don't have to really sell them Amsterdam and prices that are like 4,000 or 5,000 euros, but the people in this area will not be able to afford that. So yeah, it needs to be less. So that means that there are actually 4 possibilities. But before I talk about the possibilities that I was a little bit debating about, I just want to say to you 2 things. If, like me, you're in a one central studio and you only need one wireless microphone, then the BLX, this one right here, or the GLXD, both of these 2 are already great for your use case. So you do not have to spend more than that. Where I do want to say that the BLX is analog, so that means that you will potentially have some noise, some fake noise in the end. So I would therefore tend to go to the GLXD. A GLXD is really great. Why is it so great? Well, because the transmitter has here, and I'm afraid that you most likely will not be able to see that. Here you can see it. Has here the possibility to put in the battery, charge it on the device itself, make sure that your battery is fully charged when you want to use it, which is great. So I really would recommend this for if you are just only need one transmitter receiver option. Then this one is very, very good for you. That was the reason actually that I was actually at the start thinking of purchasing. Wait a sec. Okay. Okay. So if the stream crashes, that's because the cat is on the power button at the moment. It's very close and I cannot really grab him at the moment. So, but I now know where his hiding place is. Okay. Anyway, the GLXD Advanced, why is that so great? You have the possibility to add up to 6 of these units in, but you do need to have this product that is above it, which is an antenna distributor. Actually, it's called a frequency manager. And the reason for the GLXD that you need a frequency manager is that the GLX is using exactly the same band as your Wi-Fi signal. Well, you can imagine if you are in a venue with a Wi-Fi signal and all of the people that are there are using their phone as a hotspot, you might run into some issues. Hence, this one is not good for me. However, if it's still something that is doable for you, this is still a great option. However, if you need more than 2, then go with that frequency manager. Otherwise, you will run into issues. So more than 2, you do need to purchase that frequency manager. Otherwise, it will not work. Reasoning behind it is that all of those units will have 3 active signals and 2 backups. So that if you have 2 of those receivers, yes, you will have 10 frequencies already used by that. That is quite a lot. So, why should you consider that? If you are in an area with low Wi-Fi congestion, then this is a good one for you. If you are in an area where you only need 6 of these units, you're also good for that. So this is a solution, but I did not pick for this one, unfortunately, because of the fact that it's in the same bandwidth as the Wi-Fi area, unfortunately. Then, if you go up again, you see the QLXD and the SLXD. The QLXD is the one that we use here at our local church, which is fantastic, phenomenally great. However, there is a price point there, $973, which is quite a lot of serious dough, which I do not want to spend. I do want to spend a little bit less than that, and that's on the SLXD. So this is the one that I actually chose, the SLXD. Oh my gosh, he's on the trusting now. Oh, I'll get my camera. You need to see that. NDI camera. Show you quickly where he is. NDI. Don't fall, eh? There you go. And then make sure that there's no audio. Boom. Oh, where is he? There he is. Yeah. No, don't do that. Yeah. So we have a nice issue here. We need to get that cat. And I cannot even get him now. Okay, well, that's the way it goes. Okay, well, we'll figure that out once he's back. I'm really worried about him now, but okay, that's okay. Good, nice. All right, let's just try to continue and see how far we can get without him hurting himself. Okay, so the SLXD, that's the one that I've been considering. Why? Because it's a great piece of so that was the audio proofing. All right. Who said that he was quiet? Dad, I need your help. Okay. Anyway, we'll figure that out later. He's probably gonna get down somehow. Hopefully not on the power button. So yeah, I will be purchasing these, and I will have these headsets, 2 of them, so that I can use that for my presenter. And which is great about this one is that it's actually on the UHF frequency, which means that you can actually have up to 11 of these without any problems at all. But I don't need 11. And you don't have to have a frequency manager, although it's possible to have one if you would like. Apart from that, it will also be able to utilize the workbench, the wireless workbench, which is a functionality that allows you to look at the quality, set the name of the channel, and do perform all kinds of frequency scans and that kind of stuff. That is possible with the SLX, which is fantastic. But there's one thing more really fantastic about it, and that is that it actually is something that works with companion that's right. The SLX can be worked with Companion, so I can actually set the channel remotely. I can mute and unmute the channels remotely. I can set the gain remotely. I can increase and decrease it. I can set the frequencies. I can do a lot of different tools, all with the comfort of a system that is far away from those receivers, which makes it really easy for me to have that audio rack on stage close to where it's happening and having my own video production plus audio far away so that I can perform my job without the need of having a lot of different okay. Yeah. We'll figure something out later. Okay. So that is what I'm thinking about, and I'm sure that you guys are laughing very hard about Scooter. The thing is that he's literally breaking off my studio at the moment. John says, sadly, I have to go, I'm afraid. Have a great evening. Great evening. Simon says, I'm still using the Samsung Blink 500 Pro for whispering to talent, a low-cost in-ear monitor solution. That is really good. That is really good. The GLXD is 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Indeed, that's what I just said. Indeed, and the SLD is UHF, and that is really one of the reasons why I'm using it. Yep, my cat he seems to be on the ground again somewhere. I think. I'll figure that out after I have to actually start to do some serious redecorating because he was doing this. So that's fine. I so hope that the system will not go down. Oh my gosh! It happened to me once with Kermit. He just walked on top of the power button and pew, gone was the computer. MT says you need more PTZ cameras to find Scooter in your studio. Yes, I do. Oh my gosh, it's like crazy that cat is like I don't know. Kermit was never did this. Oh yeah. Graham says we have two Shure GLX24 handheld mics and two Shure body packs with headset microphones and 4 GLXD pickups. Every now and then the audio goes so exactly, and that is most likely because you're using the same Wi-Fi network, Graham, than everybody else. So that might be the reason why it's get a bit unreliable, and that's also the reason why I've chosen for the SLXD, which is a bit more than my budget really allowed, but I think that it's gonna help out will help out. Yeah. DJ Ware says Scooter is the destroyer of studios. Oh yes, he is. I have no clue where he is at the moment, but I hear him. Doesn't feel correct. Oh my gosh. Yes, indeed. Well, never a dull moment, guys, in the studio. Your studio with all of the trust is the cat's dream playground. Yeah, must be that. Yeah, well, you know that cats do like high places, so I'm not worried about that, but I am worried about him eating on things that he should not do, right? Kira says you need to have a PTZ follow function to follow your cat. Yeah. I think that once this stream is done, I'm gonna figure out where he is, but I have to put some soundproofing back there. And there and there and there. So he actually removed 4 soundproofing panels in that couple in that while, and that's about it. Oh yeah, and there's a power cord that I need to fix because I don't like the way that it's now structured. I just don't want it to fall, and then I want to see what he's doing right now, because I don't feel very well with that. Anyway, so now you know what I'm looking for. So 2 headsets with SLXD that is remotely controllable via the workbench, the wireless workbench by Shure. It's also possible to remotely control it via companion software, which is cool. The X32 is also controllable by the companion software, so you can imagine what you can do. For example, with a Teams setup, is that you can literally have one button that changes everything on the X32. Make sure that the that the microphone is set to the correct location. Blah 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 blah. It's extremely helpful and very, very interesting to have. Graham says, I told my boss that we needed something different, but they had a consultant who sold them the 2.4 gigahertz ones along with the mixer that could use Wi-Fi. Okay. Yeah, clearly it was a great consultant. Yeah. I totally understand that. As a matter of fact, I was this close of purchasing the GLD Advanced because I thought it was a good deal. Then I was starting to look into what it really was like, and I came to notice that I really needed to step up. I actually wanted to go all the way to the QLD, but that was too much. So there's always a budget constraint, and you also need to look into how many do I need. So it's also about the amount of transmitters and receivers that you want to have. So how many microphones do you want to have? If it's only 6, then the GLD Advanced would be a great one. If you want to have 11, then the SLD X will do. If you need more than 11, then you really need to go to the QLD. See what I did there? It's really also about the amount of microphones that you need. Hence, I went for the SLD. Now I want to see what he's doing. Sorry, guys. Where are you? Kom er eens uit. Kom, eruit. Eruit. Ja. Upsie. There you go. We're back. No. Just sit there and do nothing. No, go away. Oh my gosh. All right. If he now decides to run up here, I'm really going to do something. Success. I gotta start consulting. Yeah, it's quite easy. Graham says we always need more microphones than we have. Yeah, I understand that. So what I'm doing is I'm just starting with the 2. Most likely it will become 3 or 4, but never more than 4. Otherwise, the rest will always be more wired because, again, doesn't make sense to invest more than that. Anyway, with the exception of the intermezzo of Scooter, I hope that you really liked this show. I wanted to at least start to think about what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you what I think that I will be doing in the coming period. So the SLXD will most likely be the ones that I will go with. Of course, now with COVID, everything takes longer than expected. So I don't know when I can start. But once it's there, I will definitely start to build up that rack. I will start with the 6U rack that I already have. If I need more in the future, I will be building up to an 8 or 2x4. But for now, the 6U will do. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you for being there. I hope to see you next week. Same time, same channel. Hopefully with a less active cat than today. Anyway, I hope that you liked it. I really would like to thank you. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. and I'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Bye-bye.